Hey YouTube, I'm going to make a video on how to hardwire a ring, okay? So what you need to do is take off these two screws underneath the bottom, which you're probably already doing because you've been having to take it off every couple of weeks to every month in order to charge the darn thing. So you take this thing off and then you have the panel underneath, okay? So let me show you what you need to do, all right? You can get online and you can buy on Amazon one of these. It's a power supply, okay? It looks like this outside the box. And the other side of it just has these little wires. Well, I purchased one of these and realized that this thing over here has an output voltage. Focus. It's not really focusing. Okay, well, it's not working, but trust me, it says output voltage of 18 volts at 500 milliamps. Now, if you're reading the original instructions, okay, that came with your Ring doorbell, okay, these instructions say that you can get a power supply in between 8 volts to 24 volts. So this power supply will clearly work. Now the milliamps is the current. That basically says how many times an hour can this thing go off and stay fully charged. This power supply has got limits. It can only push off so much power. So I figured the 18 volts of 500 milliamps is what it's designed for without doing the math, and I'm not a mathematician on this, but without doing the math, I'd say if that's a 12 volt, if you could find a 12 volt one, you could probably go about 750 milliamps. If you can go to 8 volts, you should probably be up at 1,000 milliamps, okay? Somewhere around that range. But this one here specifically is designed for it, okay? Well, I'm not going to spend 20 bucks on Amazon because I've got a whole pile of these. So I looked through all these until I found one that had the right voltage. Now, this was the one I thought I was going to use. If you look at it, if it will focus here. Come on, focus. There it goes. This is 12 volts, and it's 800 milliamps. So I figured that that would be great. Here's the problem. This says DC, or direct current. Well, this thing over here clearly says AC voltage, okay? That's what that is, AC volts. It has to be AC. Now, this one over here says AC volts, okay? That's what the volts of AC stands for, VAC. Can you read that there? VAC, volts of AC. This one over here is 12 volts DC. This one over here is 12 volts DC. And I was going through these trying to find one, and here's one that says 12 volts DC, 1,000 milliamps. Well, if that was an AC, that would be a good one to use. Well, anyways, I looked around until I found one, okay, that was at the right level. And this one over here is 16 volts AC current. Let's see if I can get that on video for you. Oh man, it's just crappy to see. Anyways, just trust me it is. So what I did is I basically just plugged it into the wall, ran the wire over here, drilled a hole right through the wall, okay, and then out this over here, okay, and then hook this thing up. And it doesn't matter which wire goes to where because it's AC current, which means sometimes this is positive and this is negative, and then it switches back, and it keeps going back and forth, and it does that 60 times a second. That's the hertz, if you want to know, okay? So it switches back and forth to positive and negative 60 times a second. So it doesn't matter which wire they go to. But you basically just screw those two things on, and then this over here connects onto here, and then you just mount this darn thing on here, and you tighten up your two screws on the bottom like you always do. Now, when you check in the app, okay, the app is going to change from the battery voltage, and it's not going to say charging or on battery. It's going to actually say hardwired. So the app will change. It's really that simple. It's not complicated. This little thing over here is going to flash blue for a minute or two until it binds and sees the power, and it will reset the system. Just give it 5 minutes and it'll work, okay? So it's really quite that simple. It's not that hard to do. The only tools that you really need on this thing over here is a drill that's long enough and a bit that's long enough to go through here, which is about 8-9 inches. So I have some really long, like 1 foot long drill bits that work fine. You get them from just about any hardware store. Past that, you really don't need anything else. So again, if you want to hardwire it up and you don't have a bin of these like I do, this is a specific one that I found on Amazon. And I think it was like 20 bucks, $16, something like that, okay? I hope that helps. Take care, YouTube.